Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Roundtable Talk, where I dissect, analyse and review the latest releases as well as some old classics. So, very exciting, a brand new surprise drop from Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist, a 10-track project, one that I'm very looking forward to listening to. Pretty much everything Freddie Gibbs drops confirms him as up there with Kendrick Lamar, as well as a few others, as some of the best lyricists currently working in the game right now. I've been a fan of Freddie way back since his mixtape days. I think the first mixtape I heard was Babyface Killer. His style's changed a fair bit since then, but he's continued to drop consistently fantastic projects that are, as I said, just very consistent and strong all the way through. I think his 2015 album, Shadow of a Doubt, remains one of the most underrated releases in his discography, as well as just underrated in general. Obviously his two albums with Madlib are critically acclaimed, and they really are just grown man rap and produced in a way that just makes them so timeless. They could have been recorded in pretty much any era, and they really are just two timeless pieces of art. And yeah, of course, everyone's looking forward to the conclusion of that trilogy. This time around though, Gibbs has finally paired up with another seasoned vet, The Alchemist, obviously an acclaimed producer in his own right. And Freddie has worked with The Alchemist before on a few different projects. I think most recently it would have been on the collaborative album or collaborative EP with rapper Currency, called Fetty, which was solely produced by The Alchemist, and The Alchemist and Currency have worked together on many occasions. Obviously there was the fantastic chemistry between Gibbs and Currency throughout that album, but the production really did give them the platform to do that. So ever since then, really, pretty much Gibbs fans have been clamouring for him to get together with Alchemist and to do a full project, and today's the day, here it is. So Alfredo, 10 tracks, got some really interesting features. Really looking forward to the Tyler the Creator verse, but beyond that, just looking forward to hearing new Gibbs. As I said, he's so consistent, and just, I don't think ever let me down from a listening point of view. So yeah, just before I do jump in, please remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and follow me on all the social links below. I'd really appreciate it. That said, let's jump into the first track from Alfredo, called 1985.
To a whole game work. Hear the bitches that extended clip with that revolver shit, it serve the same purpose. Geekers beaming up the Scottie in my crack lobby, I can smell the cane burn. Gangland made a lane in it, and my name in it, it's a game murder. All my reps in the crack files, bitch, I got them on Freddie Kane, it'll be a game murder. 1985, Michael Jordan, bitch, I travel with a cocaine circus. Full God level like a low speak, I make a song, we got the game murder.
You just hear straight away this is going to be a really soulful project. Alchemist production usually has this sort of 70s soul element to it, drawing on those blaxploitation films from years and years ago. Or Gibbs there, just effortless with the flow. His delivery is so deep voiced, but there's such a malleable quality to his flow as well, which again displayed there. Some really slick lines as well. The track's called 1985, and as I said, the reference there to Michael Jordan is very, very slick. Nice intro. I think definitely is going to set the tone for this. It felt, as I said, just very at ease and very comfortable, and both production and rapper sound very, very confident in their abilities to deliver on something here. Next track is called God is Perfect.
Microphone check, 1, 2, mic check up. Still back that blood out of Savannah, I pray to Mecca. I didn't want to speak on this shit, but it's really been racking my brain now. Cause really, I fuck with this rapper, my niggas still selling cocaine now. The records, they got enough on us to go start a motherfucking case now. Golf ball holes in the shit, big fin ball in his bitch. This one really burn it all in the sit. Had a pipe, but should've wore a diaper when I hit him, left his drawers full of shit. Nigga blow the phone check, 1, 2, mic check up. Still back that blood out of Savannah, I pray to Mecca.
The flows are just ridiculous. Like, he's switching up the flow every 16 bars. His delivery here is something that we very rarely hear from Gibbs, in more of the higher register, but he's absolutely killing it. And this beat, so spooky and haunting. Just when you thought, Madlib and Freddie Gibbs were a match made in heaven, him and The Alchemist just fit together so well.
That shit like I'm bulletproof. Fucking DM, I'm sending them killers through. I be fucking with the G's, Crips, Bloods, BDs, man, this shit get political. Take some extras out the brick, we press a brick, it ain't no pressure, yes sir.
Another very very, very good track. As I said earlier, I think Alchemist production it actually probably is a slightly better match for Freddie Gibbs, or a slightly more natural match than Madlib's. Obviously the two projects with Madlib are obviously pretty incredible, but I think the reason they work is because, you know, Madlib's style is so opposite to the sort of subject matter that Freddie Gibbs talks about a lot of the time, whereas I think Gibbs and Alchemist come from the same world, that sort of grimy, old school boom bap with the dark edge. And as I said, I think they just are more natural fit, and you could really hear it on God Is Perfect there. Next track is Scottie Beam and features Rick Ross. Excited to hear this one. A few seconds in and I can already tell Ross is going to kill this.
Don't cross me like Isaiah, that shit be ill-advised. Dark coast, rap, black sheep, they got me vilified. Cat in the wind, told the Gary police in 05 that I got more guns than them. The revolution is the genocide. Yeah, my execution might be televised. Cross niggas like Bubba Chuck, I never gave a fuck.
You need a dictionary when you write your raps. Until the penitentiary just for 100 seconds. I had a vision back when I was fishing for a bass. Spark spliffs, raw kicks I get from Clark Kent. Common sense, no print, strictly the mob hits. XL weed shipping from the west.
I mean, you can see why they got Rick Ross to hop on that beat. Just oozing luxury. Both Gibbs and Ross are masters of vivid imagery in their verses. Often both of them kind of make poetry out of violent backgrounds, but there again it was effortless from both of them. And there were some timely references to police brutality, especially with what's going on in the news right now. It's very pertinent. So yeah, another very good track. Probably my favourite so far, just because of the smoothness of that instrumental. That kind of music is some of my favourite kind of hip hop, and it's my favourite type of Rick Ross as well. So bringing, you know, Gibbs and Ross and Alchemist together in this way on that kind of, you know, just plush beat, yeah, just perfect really. Next track is called Look at Me.
Bucket seats with the beam on the tech, got a thing, Wu-Tang, but take your neck, bitch. Take a look at me, oh, yeah. Came through with the Benz S6, dripping while the nigga wrist reckless, hoes tripping, never one less, bitch. Oh, yeah.
That beat is incredible.
Yeah. When I start telling the crack, I ain't looking back. Yeah. Bitch, I ain't looking back.
Expert sampling from Alchemist. I was getting lost in that beat. Enjoyed in both of those last two tracks, sort of ghostly use of instruments. In the last track it was a sort of ghostly kind of saxophone. In that one, again, I think another kind of similar type of instrument wrapped around that haunting vocal sample. Just incredible production. Gibbs was okay on it, but honestly, Alchemist absolutely destroyed that. Just one of the best beats I've heard so far this year. Next track is called Frank Lucas and features Benny the Butcher of Griselda.
Sold a book on my boost mobile, I boost the crime wave. Telling all my hoes that I love them, I'm playing mind games. With gas masks when I make dope. I done seen a lot of OGs catch a table heavy trying to taste dope. I just got another case smoke, call my lawyer, hit him with the pesos. Got a guess it's a youngin', I'm too legit to quit. I keep this bitch shit like my kinship, but since I set the bricks, I read the strap, she took the charge, I took that bitch on the trip.
Freddie Gibbs.
And if they do tell my people, just hold my babies down. I took a loss, but I jumped off, then I got richer. Shit is funny when you think about it.
Gibbs flow is just nuts. Relentless.
I heard you renting some, telling war stories and you ain't been in none. Brick from a plug I met in the joint, Miami, Super Bowl weekend, I got head in the Royce. Reach you abusers, now abuse y'all with lines. I'm in this black thing, he ain't just a few cars behind. I bought two of everything, they say dude lost his mind.
Alchemist again delivered on the production. That track was so menacing, so dark, and very cinematic in the sense that, you know, you could hear that being overlaid on like a car chase scene in a 70s or 80s sort of thriller film. Gibbs again putting on just an absolute flow clinic in that first verse, and then Benny the Butcher coming through with just bars on bars. I think You know, Gibbs' delivery was so commanding at the start of that track that it was quite hard, I think, to follow him. And Benny the Butcher's delivery wasn't quite on the same level, but in terms of pure bars, again, Benny the Butcher's up there as one of the best working. Next track is probably my most anticipated track on this track list. It's called Something to Rap About and features Tyler, the Creator.
Ratchet bitches acting out. God made me sell crack, so I had something to rap about. I play the man, straight survival, right hand on the Bible, I won't take the stand. Yeah. VL niggas strap it out. Lord, let me hit this hoe, so I had something to rap about. Shit with hoes that I look back and I can laugh about. Shit wasn't no joke, sitting in that cage, this shit was dragging out. Diego
sound like the boat I haven't bought yet. It sound like the moment I jump off it. Sun shining, cold water filling in my pockets. This lake water better than the faucet I grew. Used to be a goblin under them bridges, now I'm a businessman. I started getting moolah as young and now I got bigger hands. I hold them if I got too much on me, I know my niggas can. I keep my circle and I ain't missing a lot, so I can be around niggas like you and learn how to keep my distance. Good job, you better find a shoe store and get your soul. Get it quick, slip it on, and I'll be a Mykonos. Lemonade sipping slow. One take, one take, one take.
Worth the wait, that track. The production reminded me a little bit of Kanye actually, or vintage Kanye West. Yeah, obviously drawing heavily from 70s soul. The ever reliable Gibbs, you know, put in a solid performance on that first verse. But Tyler, as expected, really, I thought, really did steal the show. I loved how his verse got more and more aggressive as the track went on. He started out, again, just the whole track reminded me of old school Kanye West, just so soulful. And Tyler continues to, you know, be one of rap's most interesting and best artists. Eagle was a fantastic conceptual piece of work, but when you put Tyler on a track with real MCs like Gibbs, on old school production like you get from the Alchemist, and even Tyler's verse on the West Side Gun album that came out maybe a month ago, yeah, Tyler just again proves that he's just such a talented lyricist himself. And again, you can't be great at these sort of conceptual pieces of work without being a great writer, and Tyler really is, and the evolution of his career has just been such a fantastic thing to watch. Next track is called Baby Shit. Let's hear it.
See if the gang had it, was a hoe before she got the same habit. Hold on, do no posting, no name. Dick man, a bitch gotta sacrifice. Diamonds in my shit look like some flashing light. Presidential, I flooded that bitch right. Cougar pussy, I fuck a rich nigga white. Don't drink no more mobbed up. Hit that proper until that bitch locked up. Then I play my shit porcelain and rocked up. R.I.P. Robin Davis, we chopped up. Screw with brunch and get my motion drunk. She get me stoppy toppy on the side seat. Keep them decky bitches from around me. Feel like Usher Ho, cause you remind me of side seats. Get that white and I beat it up like a mic. Jump a broke man, a nigga can't be like Mike. Shed his dick, man, a bitch gotta sacrifice.
Actually might be one of my favourite tracks on here. Just classic Gibbs. That beat, that just something so grainy and soulful about it again. Just, yeah, Alchemist definitely clicked out on this album for sure. Also love the addition of those drums. There's not been, you know, too many heavy drum patterns on this album so far. Alchemist has kind of left it to the rappers themselves to sort of set the rhythms and the pace of each track. But that one, as you could hear, Gibbs's flow was perfectly in time with the drum beat and the snares that were going on in the background of that. And yeah, again, just the sort of spooky sampled feeling in the background. Yeah, I think that potentially might be my favourite track. Yeah, the title kind of threw me off a little bit, but yeah, really good song. Next track is called Babies and Fools and features Conway the Machine.
Real nigga, what's up? My first love was football for playing that Madden shit. My second love was hard drugs, weed, and the foolie with this tool to put my babies through school. I took my left hard and I had to take a step back for bitches and certain niggas. Sometimes some to get the success, then you back.
Love. My first love was writing verses and rapping bars. My second love was sitting on vandals and trapping hard. I'm on tour, I'm on the road, just hustling and shit.
Especially on Bandana, Gibbs added this sort of reflective, philosophical edge to his rhymes. And I think that track we just listened to really did bring that back out of him again. It was interesting to hear them both, Conway and Freddie, talk about, you know, family life. And I think the soundscape that Alchemist creates really does lend itself to that. That track felt like you know, a definite, you know, follow on from Something to Rap About with Tyler. just felt two halves of the same whole a little bit really. I'm really enjoying the production on this album. I'd even go as far as to say that I think Alchemist production might just be outshining Freddie's performances on this. It's not to put any of Freddie's performances down at all, but Alchemist has just gone to a completely another level with the production on this. Just so authentically soulful, and just something that I really enjoy in rap, and it's just the sort of thing that you don't really hear a lot in mainstream rap. So this is a refreshing change of pace to listen to really after listening to, you know, the Gunners and the Navs of this world. Next track is called Skinny Suge. Let's get into it.
Yeah. Like every night I dream a nigga trying to murder me. I'm the crack bet on myself like I went back to the future with a rap almanac. Got powder on my table, the label call for they offer back. My uncle died off of overdose. And the fucked up part about that is I know it's applied to nigga that's sober. A nigga baby mama fiend, can't keep his bitch off smack. She called the police, now he doing 7 years for a sec.
A very passionate and dark verse from Freddie there. Again, following on from what I said before about you know, Bandana having brought out a little bit more of a reflective side of him, and the stuff he was talking about on that verse was you know, deep family stuff, and you know, the real regrets that Freddie feels at previous activities, shall I say. The beat had that sort of haunting instrumentation again in the background, this time guitar. I like what this production is drawing out of Freddie as an MC. He continues to bring out a different and a deeper side of him, I guess. We've actually come to the final track. This album has completely flown by, as I think all good albums should. Obviously this has only been 10 tracks in just over half an hour, but just as I said, not a weak track here so far. Fingers crossed, I haven't jinxed it and the last track doesn't let me down, but yeah, the last track is called All Glass.
In the church pot, your nephew worked for me, got bundles in the church socks. Big bunny rabbit, I drop a package, my youngest down the slide. I'm coca do the team to turn to Kyrie Irving. Unpick that nigga twice, he was leaking, but is he dead or not? Follow him to the hospital, shoot it out in the parking lot. My baby shower, shot these kids on the face, gave your wife your baby shower. East side is the army, go get you a Navy tower. What's up? Any gangsters that made a purchase. Don't do no crimes with no rappers, nigga, you know the verdict. Under 3,000, they fuck with Carolina, undercut, Saturday look, Alex O'Neal, I keep a chicken clucking.
I did kind of jinx it, as that was probably my least favourite track on the project. Not to say it was bad though, I just thought the instrumental was very busy compared to, you know, the sort of laid back, more effortless stuff that we've had throughout the project. But either way, you know, Freddie put in a fantastic performance again with really tumbling flows, and the production was okay, just not my favourite type of Alchemist stuff. So yeah, that was Alfredo by Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist. Yeah, really enjoyed that project. I think there was no way that if you're a hip hop fan that you're not going to enjoy this project. It's just a partnering of two seasoned vets who, as I've said throughout this review, are just so effortless in what they do in terms of, you know, Gibbs on the rapping side and Alchemist on the production side. There's a real Wu-Tang element to a lot of Gibbs' work with these sort of seasoned producers, and while I had a fair few, you know, favourite tracks, you know, the one featuring Tyler the Creator, Something to Rap About, Baby Shit, Scottie Beam, Look at Me, while they're probably my favourites, I think this project is one that you're going to want to come back to in full. There's not a particular concept behind it, but you know, it's tied together by these sort of vocal samples at the end of each track and the beginning of some tracks as well. I think potentially from a comedy skit or a film, I'm not too sure. Do let me know in the comments if you do know where those clips are from. But yeah, when going into this album, what I expected were, you know, sharp cadences, dense flows and dense lyrics, as well as 70s soul-inspired production, and that's exactly what I got. I guess you could argue that, you know, neither of them kind of exceeded expectations, but my expectations were so high it would have been very difficult to do that. Definitely, easily, one of the best pure rapping albums of the year, bars on bars on bars. Only competition really so far is the West Side Gun album. But yeah, overall, a really fantastic album, and one I recommend to every single person that messes with true old school hip hop, really. So yeah, that was my review for Alfredo. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Please do remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave me a comment as well. What did you think of Alfredo, and what was your favourite track? Apart from all that though, I hope everyone's staying well, staying safe, and just staying sane in all this craziness that's going on in the world right now. That all said, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.